What's going on, guys? Squid here. Happy Sunday to everyone. Just chilling here. Got a couple of got Walter. Got Bruce chilling with me. If you can see, there's Callie. Just chilling. Thinking about last night. Want to make this video for one reason, really. To talk about not just what happened last night, fights-wise, because I'm going to talk about that a little bit. The fact that what happened last night did a lot for the sport of combat sports. It was something that was really needed happen last night on all sorts of levels. So I'll start off by talking about this fight. It took place on Fox. Having a really successful fight on major network TV has been something that has been very hard to pull off successfully. Elite XC tried a few years ago. And they mistakenly put Kimbo Slice as the face of their company, and odds behold, bloody fight. Kimbo gets knocked out by Seth Petrozelli. Just not everything always works out on network TV. Even at the first one they did was the heavyweight title, Cain Velasquez against Junior Dos Santos, and Junior Dos Santos knocks out Cain Velasquez in about a minute. And this is a chance to get to fans that would not normally pay for the fight. Maybe people that are sitting home that aren't big mixed martial arts fans. So fights like that give them the perception that fighting is a little dirty and has that mentality that it is a brutal sport, but some people have a wrong perception of the sport as a whole. So those type of fights, you need exciting fights. Last night's card, UFC on Fox 5. This was huge. You had there was so many levels of things going on. You had an amazing Facebook fight. Your Facebook fight was Scott Jorgensen. Your Facebook fight wins both bonuses. So Facebook billion users. You have Scott Jorgensen beat John Albert with a rear naked choke and win fight of the night and submission of the night. So two $65,000 bonuses, wins $130,000 on a free fight. So that's one way that you're gonna get to people. Facebook putting one amazing fight out there, and that was the best fight of the night. Facebook people got to see that. And then we move over to FX. Then we have this amazing card featuring, Nam Fan, Dennis Seaver, Yves Edwards against Jeremy Stevens. These amazing fights. You have Marcus Levisure. People know him from wrestling. He's and the guys delivered. That was the one thing. The UFC has been pretty plagued with injuries recently, and it was really cool to see every fighter step up and fight and put on a show. And I just feel like there was probably really good energy in that building, and that's what fighting is about. It's like, you might as well just leave it all out there and try your best, because when you go back and look at it, you're not going to be happy if you don't leave it all out there as a fighter. So everyone pretty much left it out there, and then we get to the main card, and you have this like old with the new type of thing going on. You have an amazing fight where Matt Brown has had an up and down career. Not the best record in the UFC, but shows that you lose fights, you learn. You fight some of the top guys, you learn. Even though you lose, you get better. Martial arts all about getting better. He puts out Mike Swick, who's a phenom. Mike Swick's one of the toughest guys. Very tough jiu-jitsu, very tough to stand up with. So he put him out with an amazing knockout. That was a great way to start it off on Fox. If you want to get people hooked, have a crazy knockout. Second fight, BJ Penn against Rory McDonald. You have BJ Penn, prodigy, and this guy that was this young champion. He was kind of what a lot of younger fighters back then were using as a template of how to train, what you want to be like. If you speak to a lot of the UFC lightweights, they'll tell you, like, man, I love BJ Penn. BJ Penn, you know, I do all my, I watch all his videos. He inspires me. Like, so he had him, and he had Rory McDonald, the guy that, you know, is kind of this new 170-pounder, this new breed of fighters. Rory McDonald started when he was 14 years old and just started training mixed martial arts. He didn't go wrestle in high school and then, you know, pick up some boxing along the way and then take some jiu-jitsu class and try to put it all together. He learned it from a put-together, from the start. He didn't have to, he understood, for so many years he's understood the dynamic of, you know, fighting and how to break someone down, and, you know, he can handle pressure very well. You know, he's pretty much been groomed his whole career to be this fighter. So it was kind of heartbreaking. It kind of was like a passing of the flame. You know, you saw Rory McDonald beating up BJ Penn. You just saw a piece of BJ Penn like kind of get taken from him into Rory McDonald. Like, and we saw it with Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz, you know, that type of fight too. It was when he beat BJ Penn, you saw a part of BJ get taken. So it was tough to watch, but it was also shows the progression of the sport and where the sport is heading. So you had, and the next fight was amazing too. You have Alexander Gustafsson against Mauricio Shogun Rua, and that was right. I don't know how the voting goes for Fight of the Night, but that was right up there for me. That was just, you know, to see two highly skilled guys like that go at each other, changing positions, and it shows how good Alexander Gustafsson is. He's very hard to take down, and he gets back up if he gets taken down. And his striking's tough. That's your number one contender right there in the light heavyweight division. John Jones has to not worry too much, but he has to start preparing for a guy that can move like him, can get up, and has about the same height. And so the level has changed. John usually dwarfs guys. To dwarf Alexander Gustafsson is pretty much impossible. So that was another one of those also passing of the flame things. It was really, you know, it was cool. It was cool to see. You know, I'm a huge Shogun fan, a huge Gustafsson fan. I actually picked Shogun to win. But it was cool to see you had Shogun, who's been this he was the youngest champion before John was a youngest champion, and it's cool to see him lose to this new age fighter, but it's also cool to see he could hang with these new level guys that almost 10 years have gone by and Shogun is still competing at the highest level. So that was just something cool. It brought me back to my Pride days, and like watching last night fights with the crew over MMA Surge. It felt like watching those old Pride fights whenever you used to get together and just you'd be blown away by the fights. There wasn't as many people watching it, but you had that same, oh damn, like I can't believe that. Like you had that last night. You had the jumping out of your seat moments. Like I jumped out of my seat the whole night. It was like nerve-wracking. Even just seeing BJ Penn jump around gets me excited. Then the main event, there's been so much going on with this lightweight division. This is a pretty dominant champion. Ben Henderson showed that, you know, he's a really nice guy. You know, you don't have to be this mean guy, and he keeps a high pace, and he does a lot of things right. He likes putting on a show. So to see a champion fight, and Nate Diaz always puts on a show. So this one, you had both guys trying to put on a show. Middle fingers going back and forth, like not back and forth from one direction, Nate Diaz to Ben Henderson, but just good guy, bad guy type of thing going on. So that was huge. After that, I was like, oh, this is one of the best nights. This is awesome. And then I go and watch the Pacquiao fight, and that was one of the greatest boxing fights I've seen in a while. That's gonna help save boxing. To see, you do not every day see Pacquiao get knocked out, and you do not every day see him get knocked out the way he did. It's hard for me to even talk about it. He got hit with a huge right hand, and Pacquiao was, you know, he was planking. You know, he was pretty much planking in the fight. You know, it's messed up to say, but tonight has been one of those nights that's going to help combat sports. You know, a lot of fans, you know, every fight card where fans go to in whatever home city, people leave with a sour taste in their mouth sometimes. The UFC gains fans, but at the same time they will lose fans if fighters don't put on amazing fights. So you, like I said, on every level, and the amount of combat sports that the American and world public saw yesterday is huge. Between Facebook, you got people with cable that watch the fights on FX, you got people flipping the channels, Fox on 5, and you also have a pay-per-view crowd that usually is against MMA. So it was just really cool. It was great. So that's why I just did this video. I just wanted to put it out there that, what was the date? December 8th, 2012 was a fight that's really going to bring back martial arts and bring back fighting. I see it with a year very plagued with injuries. I see it, and you know, you can mark my words that, you know, fighters got great bonuses. You're not going to hear about the possible bonuses, but you will hear about Dana White saying these fighters got paid, and why they got paid is because they put fights on. And you know, it shows, you know, guys try to pad their record because the UFC has a pay scale that gradually increases. But if you're the exciting fighter, if you're a guy like Joe Lozon, and look at how many bonuses he's won, and he puts it all out there, Joe Lozon's making bank. And you know, you make bank not always by winning. You know, you have guys like Dan Hardy, doesn't win all the time, but he's in the UFC, he's making bonuses, he's getting sponsorships, and he's getting the recognition. He's getting, you know, fighting is one of the hardest sports in the world. We have some of the best trained athletes in the world, so it was just great. It was my hat is off to combat sports yesterday, so it makes me proud to be a fighter, and also give me a ton to freaking break down on MMA Surge. We watched the fights last night. We got 3 episodes all week. We're trying something new all week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be nothing but stuff from these fights. So as it's fresh, we're going to do stuff in the fights. Next time I film, we're going to break down the Pacquiao stuff. So I'm going to stay very, very relevant. If you guys are curious and you trust in what I speak and what I say, I'm going to teach the moves the best I can. If you don't like them, I apologize. Let me know what I should do better, because this is a learning experience, not just for me, for you guys too. We're all learning. Us on this show are learning. So just stay tuned, and I hope you guys like this video. I'll see you later. I'm the Squid. Make sure you subscribe to MMA Surge and subscribe to me, because if you look, I have like no subscribers and barely any views on any of these videos. So peace out, guys.